I'm John and I run a creative studio in the city of London.
I'm Rob and I'm a brand consultant. And this is Fairfax. He's a French bulldog and his favourite things are carrots and also apples with peanut butter.
And bananas.
And bananas.
My aesthetic, I would say, is casual, classic with a bit of a street edge. I don't think about it too much. I kind of like to mix things up a little bit, so I'd wear something like classic with something a bit more street.
I'd say it just depends on my mood, and if I fancy wearing one thing one day, I might wear something completely different the other day. I don't necessarily think too much about it, as long as I sort of feel comfortable and confident.
Okay, so I don't think there's necessarily as much pressure as what there used to be on young people to dress in a particular way. I think everything's become far more collaborative with the way people dress and the way they put things together. So like mixing high street stuff with high end stuff and vintage stuff has become much more like a norm. And I think today's really about like individuality as well.
I would say my biggest influence is my own individual mood on a particular time, because I don't necessarily think about anything or anyone when I want to wear something. It depends on my mindset at a particular time and what's going to happen on that particular day, and I dress accordingly. Sometimes it might be more casual, sometimes it might be more effortless, sometimes it might be a bit more professional.
I don't like online shopping at all. When it comes to kind of clothes, I prefer to go into a store, be able to see it, touch it, feel it, try it on, that sort of stuff before I buy anything at all.
The online shopping is more about the convenience, and sometimes you might get it for a cheaper price. So I think a lot of people tend to go into stores to actually try things on to see if they like it, and they might find it for a better price online. So that's more of I would say online shopping is better for things like saving money and also for convenience. But it's far better to go out to shop to have the experience of trying new things.
I'm not really that much of a vintage shop, to be honest. That's not to say that I wouldn't. I think I prefer kind of like going to the high street and finding stuff that way.
Every so often there's brands that I particularly would buy into quite regularly, but it's almost like not necessarily seasonal, but trends change and other brands start to appeal in different, at different times. But I generally seem to, from my own personal point of view, is that generally I seem to stick to a certain number of brands at a particular time and then move on to something else.
I think it's really interesting nowadays, everything's accessible to us, so I think it's interesting to kind of see what other people are doing and understand what people are doing with fashion via social media. In some instances I do find it does influence, in other instances I don't feel like it influences at all. So it's kind of a bit of both.
Generally I don't necessarily care about what other people think about how I look. I just like to feel comfortable and confident in myself. And yeah, it's not really something I particularly worry about what other people think.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't really care what other people think. As you can see, I'm wearing a pair of ladies trainers at the moment, and I don't really care whether people think that's good or bad.
Quite big feet for a lady, don't they?
I don't feel like the way that I dress, I'm looking for acceptance or I'm looking for people to think of me in a certain way. I'm just dressing for kind of like how I'm feeling at that particular time.
I think if you was to ask a question about the dog, for example, then I would care about what I'm buying for the dog, because I want him to look good and feel comfortable. And it's been quite difficult to actually find really nice, classic, simple items to put the dog into. So I think that's something that I would probably care more about rather than what people thought about me. Spend a bit more money than other people may think on accessories for the dogs, because I want him to look good, I want him to feel comfortable, and I think that fashion for pets is becoming increasingly popular, and increasingly people find it a lot more important to sort of spend more money on their pets, and I think that I would care more about the fact of what other people thought about my pet rather than what they thought about me.
But you're not going to dress that dog up like a pet.
I'm not going to put it in booties or bows or anything like that.
Cool.
Are you? I think that living in London has a certain amount of inspiration to my mindset when it comes to fashion and things that I do and things that I like doing. I live in Shoreditch, even though Shoreditch is seen as a very hipster type area. I don't necessarily see Shoreditch as being something that's an inspiration to me. If anything, I find it a bit of a nightmare. However, it is in the centre of London, and London is a big cultural hub, so I say London is a big influence on me.
I think living in London is a really culturally diverse city. It obviously does have some form of influence on what we do on a daily basis and how we perceive things, but in a really positive way. I mean, you just see like the area that I live in is Shoreditch. You see people, you see boys dressed up as girls and girls dressed up as boys, and I think that kind of not really giving a damn about what people think is a sign of like the times now.
Brands that I particularly like at the moment are Off-White.
Just because you're wearing an off-white
Because
shirt.
I'm wearing an Off-White shirt at the moment, and it's really nice and comfortable, and it's keeping me really nice and warm because it's really big and heavy. And for like more everyday type things, I've always been really keen on Sunspell. For like the more basic items, and for probably the more premium basic items, Acne is probably my favourite of all those brands.